Hello, welcome back to Salty Sunshine. I'm your host, Lisa. So happy to be back. I'm a few days late. I went to Austin this weekend to visit Bree. It was so fun, short and sweet. What did we do? It was beautiful weather. That was first of all. It's hot in Austin during the summer, but that kind of heat hasn't really hit yet. It's a little less. But we went to Mothership, which is Joe Rogan's comedy place. We've never been able to get tickets. It's always sold out. And we did it. We thought about it early enough, and we scored tickets for Saturday night, 10 p.m. for a guy named Tony Rock. Now, I love comedy, but I don't know everyone in the comedy world. And we were like, is he related to Chris Rock? And lo and behold, he's his brother. So apparently Chris Rock has like 6 or 7 siblings, and Tony Rock is a comedian, and he's one of them. I guess he doesn't mention his brother. We looked it up, and it said he doesn't want to get any help. He doesn't want the Nepo baby stuff. So we went to see him, and he was hilarious. He was so funny. If he's ever in your town, you should go watch, because it was really fun. It was really good. We really enjoyed it. Also, Kendra Scott, she has a store on Congress Avenue, which is like the touristy strip where all the good restaurants are and stores and stuff. And Kendra Scott's from Austin, so her flagship store, her original store is there. And then across the street, she has the Kendra Scott. She has like the beauty boutique, which is, Universal. And then she has across the street the more Western Kendra Scott. So that's fun. You can go in and make your own hat, like a baseball cap, and you could design it and put all these fun Western decals on it. So that was so fun. And yeah, so I went to Austin, and then I got back home, and you know how it is. You travel and you're tired. We went to this state park that's next to Bree's house, which is so fun. It's forgot McKinney Falls or something. It was really nice, beautiful area to walk around. I wish we had that in Florida. We do, but we need more trees. We need more lakes. I don't know. But that was so fun. I got home and I saw on the news this woman, I think it was New York, I think it was Manhattan. She parked her car and she stepped out of her car and she literally fell into a manhole and died. It was crazy. A really heavy truck passed over this manhole. It dislodged the opening, the top, and I guess the top fell down. I don't know, but it was wide open. So this poor lady parked her car right next to it. Literally, she opens the door, but you're getting out of the car, you're not looking at the floor. She turns around to walk, and she literally just disappears into the ground. And it took them a long time to get her out, and she died. I think she broke something because it was 10 feet down, but she died from the heat and the smoke inhalation that was down there. So that's crazy. She just went maybe to grab a burger, maybe to go shopping, maybe to work, maybe to a meeting, and she freaking dies from a freaking manhole. That's crazy. I'm sure her family will sue, but it was the most wild random story. Another fun story, Bethenny Frankel shoegate. Now everyone's talking about this shoegate. Bethenny, she's hilarious. I think she was just on some sort of podcast, and she said that she makes just on her brand deals alone like 20 mil a year. And it's fine to talk about it. I just don't think, as witty and smart as she is, no one's perfect, and everyone has a blind side. Everyone has a thing, and especially if you're willing to ignore it. She has no self-awareness. We all know this. It is what it is. She has a lot of self-confidence, but that doesn't mean you can be self-confident and be self-aware. She just doesn't have the self-awareness. So yeah, you're going to rub people the wrong way. I just feel, I don't know. It's fine. I don't care. It's just, I like her, but I do get fatigued when I see her come up on my feed. I do keep scrolling because I do feel, first of all, everything's an ad. And second, it's chaotic energy. And so sometimes I'm not in the mood, And she literally posts everything she thinks and feels and says and does and walks. And it's just like, it doesn't all have to be posted. I feel like less is more. And she's like, she thinks it's working for her, and it probably is, but I think it would work for her even if she pulled back and she'd have a little bit more sanity. I do feel, you know, she does have a daughter. I wouldn't want to show my daughter that I'm chronically online. I wouldn't want to show her that I can't be present, that I can't have a meal without videoing, that I can't do anything without making a whole production. There's all these people posting videos of her, when she's in Miami or wherever. She's at an event and it's behind the scenes type thing because they're videoing her, having people videotape her, and she's calling cut and let's do it again, and that was wrong. And so that kind of vibe every time you go out, I could never. I just can't. I don't have that stamina. I want to enjoy my time. Sure, if the opportunity makes sense and you do it sometimes, I think you can do a nice balance that you don't kind of lose a sense of it's too much. And so anyways, she's worn these pair of shoes that female founder Lexi, which is Real Housewives Dina Manzo's daughter. She has a shoe line and she asked Bethenny if she could send her some shoes years ago or however long ago. Bethenny's worn the shoes multiple times apparently, and she's never tagged the brand. So she obviously likes the shoes. They're super cute. But this last recent time she wore the shoes, she tagged apparently she put a link to a dupe brand, and that really pissed off this girl Lexi. So when followers directly asked where the shoes are from, because I guess she was getting messages, Bethenny linked an affiliate dupe instead. Lexi posted a now viral call-out video. Bethenny said that she did this because the shoes were sold out and what would annoy her followers more than that, and that Lexi has played the short game and has some business lessons to learn. Now, here's my thing. How does she know the shoes are sold out? Did she have her people check the website? Does she always have people check the website before she posts a link? I can't imagine, you're posting a L'Oreal cream. Maybe it's sold out. I don't know. This is a smaller brand, so I guess that's different because L'Oreal's just massive and you can get at different stores. I don't know. I think Lexi made a mistake. I know she thinks she's winning because she got all this back and forth drama and people are going to her site, but I do think it's not a good look for her because you don't send people for free. Bethenny's not making money off of this, and you're taking the chance and the risk, and that's the risk you take. It's not a good look. You look immature, you look bratty, you look entitled. I'm sure your mom doesn't appreciate it, and she should have just wrote to Bethenny's team and said, listen, I saw that video you posted. I'd really love a shout out. We're going to get back in stock soon. Or do you mind if I share the video of you in the shoes, and I'll link my brand, and I'll say that these are where the shoes are actually from. That would have been a better call instead of having this online feud. That's what I think. I mean, it's kind of silly. And then I think she also said, once you send those shoes into my house, my shoes, my account, my body, my choice. Adding that, whatever her name is, Lexi, acting like a crybaby meant she had a lot to learn. Yeah, she looks like a crybaby. That's exactly what she looks like. She's so dumb. Why couldn't she just share Bethenny's video with the shoes on and say, I made those shoes, guys? Why couldn't she do that? She doesn't have to ask her permission to do that. It would have been nice. That's shoegate. I mean, she's always involved in something. It's so wild. Today she posted, or maybe it was yesterday, I don't know. She posted a little TikTok, and she's in a bathroom with a towel around her body, and she's like, I'm sharing a hotel room with a guy, mind your business. And she had to throw that in there because I feel she's turning a little Jessie Draper, from SLOMW, Secret Lies of Mormon Wives. It's all for attention. It's all for clickbait. And that's where you lose me. We like authenticity. Not that she's not authentic, but it's getting to her head a little. Maybe she just needs to breathe and kind of like step back and say, okay, I don't know. Or she doesn't. She doesn't have to do anything. But it's giving Jessie Draper. It's giving, you want the drama, you want the tension. And if you're making so much money every year, you don't need to do all this. You already have the flow coming in. Maybe calm down. But she's saying that she's sharing a hotel room with a man. She wants you to know that. And he used this product in the shower, the St. Ives BHA exfoliant. And she said it was amazing. Run, don't walk, all this stuff. And I wonder what's going on with her kidney. Didn't she have kidney disease? Is she doing anything to remedy? Has she taken more tests? See, I want to know more about that. Alex Cooper, call her daddy, call her baby. She's pregnant. She announced her pregnancy on Instagram with a photo carousel. Everybody was saying that there's rumors that her and her husband are on the outs, and apparently they're not because they're having a baby. I mean, maybe they still could be, but probably not. And everyone in the comments is so silly. They're like, oh, well, now they can't come for her because she's pregnant. Since when can't you come for her pregnant lady? And when I say come for, I just mean talk about. If you want to respond to something, you can. It's not a big deal. I mean, you're not going to be verbally abusing her or anything. But yeah, you can still act accordingly. It's not a big deal just because she's pregnant. Speaking of SLOMW, this is old news, but I guess I haven't talked about it yet because I have it in my notes. Jessie Draper, Miss Dramatic, Miss Everything for the Camera, they leaked, obviously Dakota leaked her voice memo that she had sent him a while ago about how she sees that there's both sides and that Taylor's off her rocker maybe, and that, you know, she feels bad for both of them and all that, whatever, who cares? But the point is, Jessie's fake. And I've been saying this for a while, and I'm over her. I'm over all the girls. I want them off my screen. I have no interest in another season of that show because now it's just silly. I find Taylor silly. I find Jessie silly. I enjoy Macy and Michaela and Miranda, but I just can't. They're so silly now. You're in your 30s and you're acting like you're in a sorority. It's just silly to me. You're immature. It's all performative. Then on Mother's Day, Taylor Frankie Paul, she's toxic, right? I've been saying this since day one, and I clock this always. I clock it so earlier than anyone else. I feel like I always say it, and people look at me like I'm annoying and rude, but I see it. I see it a mile away. She is so delusional that somebody, what is she? I don't know. Someone posted something in the comments. Taylor said, you know, domestic abuse, DV is not something to whatever about. And it's almost like, do you not realize you're part of that DV? You were hitting, you were throwing, you're part of that. So yeah, it's not nothing to mess with, and that includes you. She's acting like she's the only victim, that she didn't do anything wrong. She's absolutely delusional, and I feel for her because she keeps reposting things and redoing all this stuff, thinking that all these strangers are validating her. And you can find a stranger for any argument that's gonna, any nimwit that can agree with you, whether they're young, naive. It doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't mean this is good. It doesn't mean you're on the right track. It's just really immature behavior. And then she takes Mother's Day and she takes the opportunity because Michaela posted something, and I don't know who started it, but her and Michaela going back and forth before Mother's Day. And Michaela's basically saying she has no interest in this dynamic, that Taylor takes no accountability. She wishes her well, but, you know, if you know, the first, second, third time you want to be there for your friend, but if they continue to make the choice to be in a bad situation, you can no longer be part of it because they're choosing it. They're asking for it. They're willingly engaging in this. So you got to step away. That's how it works with friends, with family, with anybody. And Taylor, of course, went on the attack. She took Mother's Day and posted all these things, calling Michaela's rash a silly little rash. How could she compare that to DV? But regardless, she, as an adult woman with 3 children, one that she can't see right now, takes Mother's Day. You know, a real adult that has kids on Mother's Day is grateful to be with the kids she can see, spend the day, and forget about Michaela. Who cares? Maybe the next day or the day after, then you can respond if you want to, or don't. To do that all on Mother's Day, and she kept egging it on, saying, whoever else has something to say, come at me, let's do this. She likes to fight. That is in her personality. That is her character. She's the person that gets in your face and does it until you smack the shit out of her, and then she says, oh, well, it's on now because you smacked me. She wants you to do it. She likes the fight. She likes the toxicity. That whole entire day, Michaela didn't respond once. Why? Because she was enjoying her Mother's Day. That's a normal person, and no one's perfect, but it's more, I don't know what other word to use, but it's more of a normal thing, that the non-toxic side. And then she says she married her abuser. I'm sorry, Michaela married at 16, I think she lied about her age, a 20-year-old. That is not that much older, and that is not an abuser. I'm sorry, it's not. It's just not. I'm sorry. That's a big miscalculation about that. No. Anyways, Taylor's lowbrow. I'm sorry. She has no class, and I've had it. But and then she bought a house. I think she posted something that she bought a house, and her mother, I think she's a realtor, so she helped her with that. Good for her. She bought a house. That's amazing. I just wish she would wear some normal clothes, eat a burger, and maybe, start acting normal. Because it's really bad. I'm so over her. I can't even feel for her because she's so annoying. I can't even take it. So, am I going to watch Secret Lives and Mormon Wives of C? Probably not. It looks like a shit show. It looks dumb. All these reality shows need to be more substance. Like, the people have to actually be friends. The people have to actually know each other. It just makes for more interesting TV. Who wants a bunch of strangers that are just trying to cause drama for no reason? It's fake. It's boring. We're all sitting waiting for Summer House reunion. I saw a clip of a preview. Sierra saying he's to Amanda that he's dating you to spite me was it, come on, girl. Where are your friends? Where are your friends telling you to stop talking so much nonsense? You look so stupid. Sierra is low-key obsessed with Wes. She's absolutely in love with him. She cannot let this man go. It's just crazy. They kissed on the show, which was what, 6 to 8 months ago. It never went anywhere that I know of. I'm curious, did they sleep together? I doubt it. He he's dating other women this entire time until he got with Amanda. Sierra should just be furious that Wes is a jerk for being so reckless and inconsiderate. And she should just say Amanda's like the worst friend ever. What a betrayal. That's it. You don't have claim on this man. I just can't. I just can't. The relationship 3 to 4 years ago that lasted 2 weeks, I just can't. 2 months, whatever it was, it doesn't matter. You're acting insane. It's insane. Anyways, I watched The City though last night and I'm into it. Lindsay's out of control. Lindsay, even in the trailer of the Summer House reunion, she's out of control. I feel like Lindsay, those people, I mean, Lindsay is so mad at Danielle because, yes, Danielle's negative energy. She has like this comparable thing, like she's competitive energy, right, with Lindsay, and that's annoying. Nobody wants a friend like that. But she can't be a hypocrite and say Danielle gets in her business, does all this stuff, because Lindsay, you're doing the same thing. You got into Kyle and Amanda's business. You caused that whole fight. None of your freaking business. One thing is to have an opinion, but you were asking questions that you have no right to ask. You were demanding answers. You did the same thing to a guy you just met on In the City. He looks a little douchey, not gonna lie, but that wasn't your place. That's the kind of thing you turn around and talk shit to your friends about after. You don't say it directly to a stranger you just met, or even someone that you don't hang out with much. It's kind of rude. And he told her, "You're giving I hate man vibes," and she was. Sorry. I want to know why Lindsay's boyfriend broke up with her. She says he dumped me and my friend had to milk my boobs after I gave birth, but she didn't say why he dumped her. And I want to know. What did he say? What's his reasoning? He just wasn't into it. What? I also saw the Netflix Kevin Hart roast while I was in Austin. I saw a portion of it because that thing is 3 hours long, and I'm sorry, that's too long for me. Maybe I'll jump back to it at one point to finish it, but it was pretty funny. Shane Gillis, the host, he lives in Austin. Bree has seen him out at restaurants and stuff. He was really good. I thought he was really funny and light energy. Pete Davidson was there. His roast was fine. He has, personal baby drama, baby mama drama going on at home. His ex-fiance, what happened with them? What could possibly happen when they did the photo shoot for the magazine with the belly and they're having a baby and they're engaged? How did they go from that to 4 months postpartum? Now they hate, like, she's dragging him through the mud and saying he's a deadbeat and she's doing this all alone. I don't believe that whatsoever. There's no way. He's not even at least doing financial. She's probably the type of girl that says, I don't want anything from you, won't let him give her anything, and then complains that he's not giving her anything. Who knows? That's a possibility. But what could have happened? He must have cheated on her. What else could have happened? He either cheated on her Or he told her, listen, I'm really not in love with you. I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't know. He did something to really piss her off, and I don't get it. Those jokes that they made about his dad dying in the 9/11 were so not funny to me. Serious topics like that, I don't think they're funny. Along with Cheryl Underwood, I think, yeah, Cheryl Underwood, her ex-fiance, the fact that he killed himself and they kept making so much fun of that, that was cringe. Cringe, made me uncomfortable. But most of it was very funny. Chelsea Handler bombed. I'm sorry. I feel there's certain people that are funny in conversation. Chelsea Handler, when she talks to people, she's interviewing them. The way she talks to them, it's funny. When she gets up on stage, I don't think it's that funny. I don't find myself laughing. So I don't know what it is. It falls flat for me. I know you know what I'm talking about. They're on stage and you're just not laughing that much. I don't know. I think some people just have one way of doing things and it doesn't translate and work the other way. I thought her jokes were terrible. I thought they were hateful and I thought they were mean and they were not funny. I didn't laugh once. I laughed at most everyone else's at least once. I didn't laugh once. It wasn't funny. When she told Tony Hinchcliffe, which she hates, she freaking hates that man. Like a real hate, you can tell. And that if he had a daughter, her first words would be me too. I mean, how gross. That's not funny. I'm gonna try to watch the rest of it at some point, but it was fine. It doesn't have to be this long though. I found that crazy. Um there's so much true crime stuff. My gosh. I guess we should just get into it. We're gonna do reality recap soon, so that's all I have to talk about as far as that. The first one, Lee Gilly. He is a man that killed I think it was fiance. It's pregnant. A Texas man accused of killing his pregnant wife fled to Italy weeks before trial. He's asking a judge not to send him back. So this guy managed to cut off his ankle monitor and get some sort of fake ID and flee the country. Now that's crazy. He's asking them not to bring him back here because he fears for his life, and he said that he didn't do it and he's being wrongly accused. That's pending. They haven't sent him back. And the trial was supposed to start May 27, which is next Wednesday, and they postponed it because he's not here. Weeks away from standing trial, he showed up in Italy this month with what a U.S. criminal complaint says was a fake passport and forged documents. When Italian authorities confronted him, he proclaimed his innocence of the killing and asked them not to send him back. Charge of murder in the 2024 deaths of his wife and her unborn child. That's disgusting. Was arrested by border police in Milan last week, having flown to Italy after American authorities say he cut off his court-ordered GPS ankle monitor. He appeared in courtroom in Turin, Italy on Monday wearing jeans and a white t-shirt, making his case for asylum. He told the judge he was wrongly accused of his wife's death. He said he no longer has faith in the U.S. justice system, and the only crime he committed was running away to avoid the death penalty in Texas. Well, then what happened? Why doesn't he say what happened? How was she found dead? Why do you think it was him? The hearing wasn't an extradition proceeding. It was to validate Gilly's arrest per Italian law. The court did so on Monday, allowing Italy to keep him in jail until an extradition hearing is requested. It is unclear whether prosecutors in Texas plan to seek the death penalty in Gilly's case or whether authorities will file for extradition. The Harris County Attorney General's office declined to comment, citing a May 8 gag order placed on the case by a district court judge. I don't know the details of this case. How was she found? What happened to her? A pathologist with Harris County says the cause of death was compression of the neck and upper back. Okay. But why do they think he did it? I don't know. We'll see. More will come out later, I guess. I'm sure they'll send it back when they hear the details or whatever. So that's that. And then this is kind of true crime, but P. Diddy, he announced that he's going to throw the biggest party ever to celebrate his release in 2028. If this is true, that's gross. How could a man be so stupid? Sean Diddy Combs has reportedly begun planning what insiders call his biggest event ever to celebrate his eventual release from prison, serving his sentence at the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution in New Jersey. His projected release date is now set to April 25, 2028. While there is no confirmed venue or official invite list, Combs' team is reportedly orchestrating the bash to feel like a coronation or a massive freedom party that will overshadow his previous famous white parties. That just shows how guilty he is, because that's not a normal brain. After you go through all this, you just want to go home, relax, lay low, be with your family. No, he wants to come out and be the biggest douchebag and throw a stupid ass party. That would be the dumbest thing. That would be so dumb. But, he is a man, a disgusting man. And, all right, Alex Murdaugh, he was granted a new trial. The South Carolina Supreme Court, Alex Murdaugh is the guy, obviously, you're under a rock if you haven't heard of this family. They did all these documentaries. The Hulu show was amazing. He is the one that was put in jail for killing his wife and son. And then his son was arrested and on trial before that for killing a girl while late night boat riding, being drunk on the boat. And then that caused a lot of stress for his dad and the family. And that uncovered things with the dad's business and money and prescription pills usage and all this stuff. So it just kind of all tumbled and declined from there. And apparently he lost it and killed his wife and son. He's saying he didn't do it. So the South Carolina Supreme Court unanimously overturned Alex Murdaugh's 2023 double murder conviction and ordered a new trial. The decision was prompted by evidence that former Colleton County Clerk of Court Becky Hill improperly influenced a jury. While Murdaugh is granted a retrial for the killings of his wife and son, he will remain in prison while serving federal and state sentences for financial crimes. Murdaugh will not walk free. He is still serving a significant 40-year sentence for separate federal and state convictions regarding the theft of millions of dollars from his clients and law firm. So if he wins a new trial, he still has to serve another 40-year sentence, so it's not going to help him, I guess. I don't know. State prosecutors intend to retry Murdaugh for the murders. The defense and prosecution are likely to argue over what evidence, including the financial crimes, will be admissible in the second trial. Now, I did think I saw somewhere that if he does, well, he's getting a new trial, but I think they could put death penalty on the table. I don't know if that's true, but he can end up worse than before. But if they find him guilty again, I guess he gets credit for time served, so it's not like he can do more time. I don't know, but his son is not happy. His son apparently said, I don't want to go through this again. I don't want my life turned upside down and people looking at me and all that stuff. So going through trial. So that's crazy. I'm going to leave Mackenzie Shirilla last, and I'm going to talk about real quick the Mango fashion tycoon's son arrested over dad's falling off a cliff. So this is a crazy story. You know the clothing brand Mango? Very popular, huge company. It's kind of like a Zara of Spain. I think it's Spain. I think they're from Spain. But the owner, the founder, Isaac Andic, was arrested in Spain. No, the son of late Mango founder is Isaac Andic. He was arrested in Spain on Tuesday in connection with the fashion tycoon's mysterious 2024 death after he plunged from a cliff while the pair were out hiking. So they first ruled it an accident. It was the son's idea to go for a hike, and he falls off the cliff. At first, they think it's an accident. Then when they hear more about the story, when they see the son take over the business, and I guess, I don't know, maybe somebody went and leaked, they didn't have a good relationship, you should look into it. I don't know what happened, but now they start investigating, and now he's arrested. So apparently the billionaire's son, Jonathan, who took over the global fashion empire with his sisters after their dad's death, was detained for questioning in Barcelona as part of the possible homicide probe. A spokesperson for the family confirmed the younger Andic, 45 years old, was being questioned by investigators but refused to give further details. The 71-year-old Spanish billionaire died after falling more than 320 feet in the caves near Barcelona. 71, he's pretty, he's not that old. So, and he looks like he's in good shape. I'm looking at a photo of him. He's like thin. He doesn't look all, slow and stuff. Authorities initially described the fashion powerhouse's death as an accident. Nearly a year later, local media started reporting that Andic's son was being officially probed as a suspect due to the contradictory statements he gave to cops when the tragedy occurred. Jonathan, who was the sole witness, had told cops he'd been walking just ahead of his father on the narrow Les Trail, a route that is often frequented by families and one authorities described as not especially dangerous. He said he turned to see his father suddenly falling off the edge of the path when he heard stones falling. Police sources, however, told local outlets that the son's version of events possibly didn't align with the forensic evidence. A tale as old as time. These spoiled ass kids. That is the worst part of coming into money and being successful, is having the worst children and having entitled children that become evil and money hungry. That's the worst. The Andick family has said its confidence that Jonathan is innocent, so his family's standing by him. Andick, who founded Mango back in 1984, was worth roughly $4.5 billion when he died, making him one of Spain's wealthiest people. His son and two daughters took over the business in the wake of his demise. Now, they did say, I think I heard somewhere, that the son and him were fighting over how to proceed in a certain foundation. And also, I think the father kind of stepped down and retired. And when he let his son take over, then the company lost money over a year or two. So the dad had to come out of retirement and get back on there to fix the business. And maybe that's all part of what happened here. When Jonathan Andick, son of late founder, when he posted bail shortly after being arrested in connection with father's death, it was the latest twist. I mean, how can they prove it? They really can't. He probably did push him off, but there's no way of knowing. When they questioned him a second time on this occasion for 3 hours, several months later, in October 2025, he was formally put under investigation after the case had been reopened. Soon after, the executors of Isaac Andick's will published a statement insisting on Jonathan's innocence. But why do they think he did it? What did he say that was so different? Investigators believe that kind of slip Jonathan describes his father suffering would have been unlikely in the spot where the fall happened. The two men were near some caves in the area of Colbato, following a picturesque, relatively undemanding route that is common for families and school children. They suspect that a footmark where Jonathan said his father fell did not match up with someone slipping and falling. Also, they believe the position of the Mango founder's body and injuries he sustained were inconsistent with an accidental fall. The forensic report found that it appeared as if he had launched himself down a slide feet first. Investigators have detected what they think are contradictions in Jonathan's testimony regarding his own position when his father fell. In one, he said he was ahead of his father, but in another, they were close together. Also, he had initially told police that his father had been taking photos with his photo moments before his fall, yet the phone was found in Isaac's pocket when his body was recovered. Separately, 3 visits by Jonathan to the site of the fall on 7, 8, and 10th of December also raised suspicions, and the investigative judge said they signaled a planning and study of the site. In addition, Jonathan's own phone disappeared around the same time that the media was reporting the reopening of the investigation. Oh, that's suspicious. His phone disappeared. He didn't want him to look at the phone. He told police that the device had been stolen during a brief trip to Ecuador. Liar. Investigations have also been examining what they see as a broader circumstance surrounding Andick's death, identifying a possible motive in the nature of his relationship with Jonathan, particularly in the context of the Mango business. Isaac, who was of Jewish heritage, was born in Istanbul and moved his family to Catalonia as a teenager before co-founding Mango in the 1980s. It made him the richest person in Catalonia, and Mango has since grown to employ more than 16,000 people. Jonathan Andick has been closely involved in Mango's development over the last 2 decades, and particularly in the men's clothing line. Although he has moved away from that role since his father's death, he and his 2 sisters currently share control of a holding company that has 95% stake in Mango. Jonathan is married to the influencer known as Paulinata. Their first child was born in September. Investigators believe that Isaac's plans to create a charitable foundation created tensions with Jonathan, and that the text message exchanged them highlighted these difficulties. According to the investigative magistrate, Jonathan exercised emotional manipulation over his father in order to achieve his economic objectives, verbalized feelings of hatred, resentment, ideas related to the death, and blame. Jonathan, however, has told investigators that his relationship with his father was good. Soon after his arrest, and the Andick family issued a statement of support. The homicide theory does not hold up, but above all, it is painful. It stigmatizes an innocent man. Yeah, he probably did it. I mean, who knows? Maybe he didn't. It's just so common that, maybe he's a gambler, maybe he lost money, maybe he got into a bad investment, maybe something happened. But to kill your dad instead of just asking your dad for money would be wild too, because his dad had a lot of money. He could just ask for some. But we'll see as that develops. It's kind of a crazy story. Where's his mom? I don't know. They didn't mention her. Crash on Netflix. Everybody's talking about it. This story has everyone up, everybody's panties in a bunch. Mackenzie Shirilla. Jesus, this girl. So, as you know, she went to a party. She had a boyfriend, Dominic Russo. She was only, 15, 16 when she was with him. I think they were a few years. I think she was 17 when this happened. And she lived with him. Dominic had his own house next to his parents' house. Both these parents, the parents of Dominic and the parents of Mackenzie, suck. They suck hard. I mean, what are you doing? So I think he was older than her. I think he was 20. She was 17. So he was a few years older than her, but still, he apparently sold drugs. They called him an entrepreneur. It's like, no, your son's a drug dealer. He traded Bitcoin. Yeah, that doesn't make him an entrepreneur. He wanted his own clothing. Like, yeah, but he didn't have one yet, right? So apparently he had this house. I don't know who bought it. He traded Bitcoin and he sold drugs. Not great. And Mackenzie, had a potty mouth. She talked super ratchet. There was video recovery from the cell phones. The way she spoke on her personal time was not great. She sounds nasty. And that's her parents' fault. And she lived with him when she was, I don't know, when she was 16, 17, too young to live with a guy. She's in high school still, smoking weed, taking shrooms, nasty. I don't know. Her parents are gentle parenting type wackadoodles that create monsters and then say, oh no, how did this happen? It's like, you happened. You took no care of your kid. You didn't knock her teeth out when she was disrespectful talking to adults or just talking like that in general, smoking weed online. She wanted to be an influencer and she's posting all these videos. It was not good, but they had a relationship. Apparently, they were super in love. And one night they go out to a friend's house and apparently she didn't do any wild drugs, only maybe some weed. She falls asleep. Her friend says she fell asleep at 1 a.m. and they woke up at 5 to drive home. Now, why did they wake up at 5 to drive home? Did they have school? Did she have school? Why are they waking up at 5 to go home? That's I want to know that. No one mentioned why. They wake up at 5 to go home. Her boyfriend Dominic and his friend, I forgot his name. And I feel the worst for the friend. The friend is an innocent bystander. It's like this cute friend that Dominic had. I think he wanted to be a singer. Why the hell, if she did this on purpose, why would she let him in the car? Like, come on. I can't. And then, so they go home at 5 a.m. She goes to this remote area that she never frequents and steps on the pedal 100 miles an hour. If you see the videos, if you watch the documentary, it's crazy how fast you can hear the car go. It's 100 miles an hour down this road, straight into a brick wall. Now, she goes straight into the brick wall, but she kind of makes the right side of the car hit the wall more. So she's driving on the left and it hits more of the right side of the car. So she didn't go straight into the wall. She went into like the edge of the wall and she survived it. And my thought is, if she planned this, she was ready to die for the cause. She was ready to die to kill her boyfriend. Fine. But then she survived it. And she's not paralyzed or anything, which is wild because 100 miles an hour straight into the car was destroyed into pieces. Her head was under the dashboard, stuck when the police got there. And the guys were one on top of the other. I don't know how they can deduct how, during the trial, they're saying because their hands were here and their body was here and their shape was here. And the box of the car showed that the car was in neutral and drive a few times while she was at 100 miles an hour. I don't know. How do they know all this? I don't understand. Are they guessing? I don't know. So she didn't try to brake. She never took her foot off the gas. Apparently, they think the two guys were trying to fight and put the car in another drive or stop her. I don't know. I didn't see the car swerving in that video. It was just straight. Because if you swerve at that speed, you're going to start doing loops and circles, I think, in that speed. I don't know. I don't know what happened. She doesn't know what happened. Her story is, I don't remember a thing. I don't know anything. That's her story. She's sticking to it. She weirdly chose not to have a jury, which I think was a mistake. you should always have a jury because you're going to leave it up to one judge. I don't know why she did that. But again, why did they leave at 5 a.m? She wasn't on any heavy drugs. She slept all night. They're saying they tested her blood. They only found THC. Now, there's an article with this girl that came out and posted these viral videos on TikTok saying that she was in jail at the same time as Mackenzie, because Mackenzie was convicted at the end of the day for killing 2 people, serving 215 to life sentences. So this girl that was in jail with her that's already out is saying, I was in there with her, and she says that she was on shrooms. And she's the Regina George of the jail. And she's out here having sex and kissing all these girls in prison. And she's out here, whatever. And she's a terrible person. She always has her hair and makeup done. She gets her clothes to fit tight and look different and get altered. And she has prison boyfriends that send her money. And there's a website for that and all this stuff. So apparently she's just a monster. She just has no soul. There is a Netflix, it's called Crash. And then on Hulu, they already made, there's a series called Mean Girl Murders. And it's season 2, episode 7. And that documentary on Hulu puts her in a worse light. On Netflix, you kind of watch the whole thing and you're still not 100% sure did she mean to do it or not. The Hulu one, you're like, yeah, she did it, because it shows her more in a bad light. The minute she got out of the hospital, she went to a concert in a wheelchair. Who does that? You should be devastated for at least 2 years, 3 years, 4 years after that happens and just not want to leave. Not just stay low, keep it low, relax. She went to a concert, and then she went for Halloween. That Halloween that came right after, she dressed as 2 of her friends, dressed all like corpses. So she's either like the dumbest person alive, the most insensitive, or she's just evil. I think she has no heart, no soul. You could tell the way she talks. There's this audio that was leaked from her talking to her mother from jail. And her mother, I want to choke her. Her mother is a doormat. She's so bad at being a mom. She does not lay down the law. She doesn't offer any real guidance. She's kind of, her mom acts like she just wants to be your friend, like the dork in high school that wants to be friends with some stupid, popular girl. And she's telling her, oh my God, your story made the news. I think it was in London or something. She's like, you made it overseas. You're all in the papers. And she's like, oh my God, no way. I think Kim Kardashian is going to reach out herself. It's really disturbing. Her mom is another, maybe that's where she got it from. Her mom doesn't care, because even in the courtroom, her mom mentioned that she didn't really know Dominic's friend that she killed. He was like, they had just met. It's like, who cares? What's your point? Your daughter killed him. Who cares how long she knew him or how well she knew him? The mom is tone deaf. The dad is a loser. He just got, I think he's a teacher, and I think he got, what do you call that? On leave. They put him on leave from work. He's temporarily banned from work because of the documentary and what the things he was saying in the documentary. I don't know what particularly he got banned for, but he's on work leave. And I think he was wearing a shirt that said boom or something somewhere. I don't know. The parents are weird. I'm sorry, but his parents are weird too. His parents, Dominic's parents, they shouldn't have allowed this situation. The mom found a phone in her son's house with a recording of Mackenzie being really aggressive and nasty. She was locked out of his house, and he wasn't letting her in because she was screaming obscenities through the door. And she's like, you better effing let me in. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to count to 3. If you don't do this, I'm going to bang down the... She was really nasty. And the mom was like, I've never seen this side of her. I'm horrified. And then they were thinking that he was going to... The reason she might have done this is because their relationship was super strained towards closer to this accident. And he wanted to leave her. And he probably told her as such over and over. And maybe she thought, well, you're not getting out of this alive. Who knows? But with that said, if she did plan this and she was driving around the area that she pushed a car into the wall, I don't know, a few days before, a week before, and she has no reason to be in that area. I think they saw the car on camera. So she was scoping out the area. Maybe she practiced what she was going to do. I don't know. But she seems fine. So for her to say she doesn't remember anything doesn't make sense. Why was your foot on the gas at 100 miles an hour? You remember that. It was, but she looked fine. I don't know. She remembered other things. So, yeah, it's hard to believe she didn't do it on purpose, but then also you know that she was ready to die herself or be paralyzed, which is worse than dying. And she's in jail. She thinks she's going to get out. Maybe she's trying to appeal, but she's out here trying to do a business in there. She sells makeup. She doesn't seem sad, is the most disturbing part, because it was in 2022. We're in 26. I mean, after a really bad breakup or a divorce or a tragedy, 2 years pass in a blink of an eye. Those 2 years don't count. They literally pass in a blink of an eye because you're so distraught. So year 3 and 4, you're still going to be somber. You're still going to be, not trying to go to live it up. You know, the fact that you took two lives is crazy. You should kind of show some respect for her. She's just the most disrespectful monster. Like, her parents should not be proud. They should not be proud. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. She's just going to rot in jail. I hope she didn't make money from this documentary. Isn't there rules? I guess every state is different, but I know in Florida, I don't think if you're committed for a crime, I don't think you're allowed. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. I thought I heard that you're not allowed to profit off of it, but maybe you can. Maybe after a few years, maybe after your time. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, but I hope she didn't make money. I can't imagine she didn't, because why would she? Well, she'll be in the documentary to get famous, right? Because that's what she wants. But it's really sad. Parents, be stricter with your kids. Lay down the law. The more they hate you and can't stand you, the better work you're doing. They should hate you. Kids are supposed to hate you. That means you're doing your job as far as being strict and making sure they stay in boundaries and all that stuff. We'll never know the truth unless one day, but you can't believe her. You can't believe her. She's never going to come out and say, yeah, I did it. But it's hard to believe she didn't, because unless she was, again, on psychedelics and she didn't know where she was, but she had just woken up at 5 in the morning. So that's why I can't believe that argument. Because if you do psychedelics but you went to sleep at 1, that doesn't make sense. So either the friend is lying and she didn't go to sleep at 1 and they stayed up all night, then that's another story. I don't know. But they didn't find it in her system. So what is up with that? And then you have some kids saying, oh, well, she was so nice to me. She was the only one that was nice to me. She's so peppy and so fun to be around. And then you have other people, she's the meanest girl. She'll destroy you to get what she wants. So I guess it depends who you talk to. That's their POV. But it is a wild story. So anyways, that's all I have. Leaving off on true crime. We'll do reality recaps soon. Oh my gosh. And talk about the reunion soon and everything. Love Island is coming. It's starting, I think, the first or second week of June, which I'm not prepared. It's like a full 5-day a week commitment. It's a lot, but of course we're going to do it, right? Because what else are we going to do? All right. I'll talk to you later. Be your best selves. Bye.